Welcome to Strategy with Sally, and today is podcast batching day. Woo! You know, we love it. And we have lined up 4 guests for you today, back to back. So at the top of the uneven hour, so 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 and 1, we're going to have 4 amazing guests rolling out through today. It's cool if you catch it here on the live stream because it's before the edit. So you just never know what might happen, what bloopers might happen. And we try to hit the top of the hour, but you know, give us a bit of lenience there as well, because as you know, the guests and myself, we're trying to do our best to arrive on time, but sometimes techie stuff happens, as you can probably tell. We're a few minutes past 7, but that's okay. Today's going to be an exciting day. So just set your alarm for every 2 hours from now, and we will be live streaming with a brand new guest. But who is here first? Well, our guest today is actually a returning guest, is Katie Fawkes. Now, she's the Director of Marketing at Ecamm, and she's a video creator who has gone from, similar to me, really camera shy to confident, hosting live shows and podcasts every week. She's really passionate about helping others to simplify using video and show up authentically and create content that truly connects without overthinking the tech. Now, help me in welcoming the amazing Katie. Yay! Hey, Katie. Hang on. Give you some. Woo! She's back. Yay! She's back. Hey, Katie.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, so good to have you back on the show. It's been a while. How have you been?
It has. Great. Busy as always, but having an absolute blast. Learning so much. Just really
So
having a
many
great
things
time.
have happened. It's been a couple of years since you've been on the podcast. So for people
Yeah.
who don't yet know you, why don't you do a little intro and tell everybody about, you know, where you started and where you are now?
Absolutely. Well, it's so great to meet everyone. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Katie. As Sally was saying, I'm the Director of Marketing at Ecamm. We make a live streaming and video production tool for the Mac. So it lets you do things like go live, multi-stream, record in all different formats, vertical, wide, all the way up to 4K. And it also has what's called a virtual camera and microphone. So it lets you take over and kind of acts as a production tool within apps like Zoom, Teams, Meet, anywhere where you can select a camera and a microphone. So it really is your video sidekick in all aspects of this video journey that many of us are on. And as you were saying, Sally, I started as hesitant and terrified and no thank you to video as humanly possible. And somehow I'm in this space, and it still makes me laugh because I intentionally was like, never do I want to be on camera. I started my career as a writer, behind the scenes, an admin kind of person. I'm great at answering emails and typing and all the admin work. And but I'm thoroughly enjoying getting to connect with people and build community and be face to face, quote unquote, with people all over the world. So it's still surreal. Like, you are in Australia, I'm outside Boston in Massachusetts, in the United States, and we can spend time together, which is crazy and wonderful.
I know, right?
All the best ways.
I love Ecamm. So I can't remember how many years ago, but every year I'm like, there's one tech tool or something crazy, like when I went live for 365 days. Like, I go all in, and I'm like, for 12 months, I'm doing the thing. And I had a year of Ecamm, and I kept saying, this is my year of Ecamm. I had the software for almost 12 months, and I had not used it. I'm like, okay, I see all these people with all these pretty graphics and all these fancy stuff. I need to start to bring up what my lives look like. So it was really fun coming in. Like, I really dived into the community, and I remember I knew how to make me stand out. You ran a Christmas. It was like go live all through Christmas. It was, what was it called?
Yeah. It's called Vlogmas. It's still something that people
Miss.
do often. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like a video blog every day for the month of December. Yep.
Yeah, it was so fun. And so I thought, oh, what I'll do is because a long time ago, a friend of mine said, be the squeaky wheel, stand out, make sure people
Yeah.
can see you. So I jumped into Canva and I cut out everybody's heads like yours and Doc Rock. And I put you
The
onto
whole team. It was
the
great.
whole
Yeah.
team. And I put
Yeah.
you all onto little dancing elves, and I was dancing
Elves.
you
Yeah.
across the green screen using Ecamm and Canva. And since then, I watched all of Doc Rock's. Every week I tuned in nearly to watch his little intro that he would do about Ecamm. And then Anna and Fulgence, who were, jumping in. I'm like, are they going to say my name? Are they going to say my name when they do the weekly one? And yeah, and then we just kind of connected. And I think I've had so much fun with your entire team over the years, lots of interviews. And it's kind of just like catching up with a friend now.
Yeah,
It's been
exactly.
really cool.
Interviewing is so much easier when you're friends with with the
Yeah,
people you're bringing on. Yeah.
I know for sure. But Ecamm has really, I guess, transformed the way in which we live stream. It looks so professional. And
Mhm.
I think you said to me one day, you only have a handful of scenes, right? You don't go all fancy. Like some people will be constantly creating new scenes all the time. And I recently changed brand. So we changed the scene, but I remember Anna and Fulgence coming on and they're like, your branding hasn't changed. I'm like, yeah, I know. I remember when they taught me, using squares and circles, right? There was a little
Yeah.
training on
Yeah.
that. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much all I've done is use my little squares and circles and and keep the same scene once it looks good. Um,
Yeah.
so when you eventually, how do you feel that from where you were with going live to where you feel you are now? What's that big difference between getting that confidence? And I mean, you're being paid to, run the marketing department for a company that literally goes live, and you were very camera shy. So, what was that feeling like when you first started compared to where you are now?
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so here's my fun story hour. I joined the Ecamm team in July of 2019, originally as a contractor. So they had never done any kind of marketing whatsoever. The app was so well put together and well designed that it literally just sold itself. And at a time where people just needed a tool to be able to do these things, it was there and it was well built. And both our co-founders, who are twin brothers, are phenomenal at supporting the community, listening to what people have to say, applying changes. So they were already doing marketing without even realizing it. I had been friends with Ken for a really long time, and he was just really wanted someone to give some advice. He wanted to hear like what they could be doing differently on the marketing front. So I did my thing. I came in with, a full audit of what they were doing, gave a bunch of recommendations, and he was like, "Great, will you do these things?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't, I don't know if I want to do these things." And so I was like, "All right, you know what? Well, I will. I'll be a contractor for a bit. I'll take on some of these projects. I'll get you up and running with all these different social accounts, etc." And he was like, "Okay, great. Well, the one big project that we just keep putting off is that we have all of these influencers and creators, people who are incredible in the marketing space, who want to share their stories with our audience. They want to show off what they're doing. They want to show like all the incredible things they're doing in video. Will you reach out to them and connect with them, and will you like see, what's possible there?" So it was definitely leading down the path of like, will you do a live show? Will you interview them? So I was like, I've got this. And I started talking to all these people who were like super influential in the marketing space. I mean, these are people like Luria from Live Streaming Pros, Stephanie Garcia, who's been like a marketing just maven for years and years. People who I had respected long before I joined the Ecamm team, and so I was like, okay, I've got this. I did what I do. I created the entire structure, and I started, psyching myself up for it. I was like, I can do this. I know the marketing. I know the world. I understand the players. I like, this can't be that hard. I've got this. We launched this show called now it's Meet the Ecamm Fam. I think it was Meet the Pros at the time. And I kid you not, the episodes are still there. I think it was episode 9 or 10 before you see my face. Every single time that we were about to get there, we were literally an hour before going live. One of the other team members, at the time it was just our co-founders, Ken and Glenn, and then our director of customer support, would just swoop in and like clearly see my nerves. And they'd be like, "Do you want me to interview this time? We can all just take turns." And I was like, "Yes, let's take turns. Let's just all take turns." So it was at least 9, if not episode 11, by the time I finally got on camera. What ended up changing for me were a few different things. One was that I really wanted it. I loved the space. I loved the team. I was still am incredibly passionate about what Ecamm is doing. The concept of being able to bring people together, connect, create community is super important to me. The second was that the community really came to my defense, came to my aid. They showed up in the comments. And because I'd been spending time in the Facebook group, talking to people, typing to people, sharing sharing who I was and a little bit about myself, they were in the chat and they were cheering me on. They could see I was nervous. They were telling me I was doing a great job. They were asking questions. And it was this shift in my mind that I'm like, oh, it actually isn't about me. I'm bringing on these other people who want to share their story. So it doesn't really matter what I look like or how I sound or whether or not I feel nervous. It's about helping the people on the other end. It's about getting those great tips and tricks and feedback and inspiration from these incredible creators that I'm bringing on. So it putting myself in that really uncomfortable position, letting myself feel really like vulnerable and letting myself feel really scared was the best decision I could have possibly made, because in those moments, it let me realize that actually it's not all that scary. Actually, it's not about me. And the more vulnerable I was, the more people loved that. They were like, "Oh, well, exactly your question. Like, how did you overcome this? How did you get through this to the other side?" And it's really just in the act of being okay with being myself, being okay with being silly, as you were mentioning earlier, and having a little bit of fun with it, being okay with failing and being like, well, that didn't work. Let's figure out how we can fix that in the moment or later. Let's do a debrief and talk about what we could have done differently. In my role, I sort of have this luxury and this flexibility with I run a marketing team who are here to help people get better at video. So we're just going to fail publicly and show you how you get to the other side of it. None of us claimed that we were experts in this space. We're experts at helping you figure out the tools that you need to be successful. And so we're going to push all those buttons and, make fools of ourselves from time to time to get there. So it's been a journey, for lack of a better word, but it's been really fun in kind of getting to see what I'm capable of, what we're all capable of, and how to kind of push past some of those feelings, because we all have them. I have talked to the biggest possible names in the industry, from incredible YouTube creators with millions of subscribers to people who have been in television that are trying to get into this podcasting or YouTube space. And they all started nervous. They all pushed through and they made it to the other side of now really being in this mindset of giving back and of, growing and fostering and nurturing these community spaces. So it is really nice actually to be kind of in the space that I am now, where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just one of many who are just doing this thing and doing it to the best of my ability.
And like you said, you're doing it for them. I love watching people go from their first video to seeing them in like even just a few weeks' time. That transformation in confidence, like building that confidence muscle, the nerves get less and less. Like, when I go live, I can talk to that little green dot, no problems at all. But put me in front of a live audience now, and I am so nervous. But sometimes I'll speak to hundreds of people just in that little green dot. But but also like a lot of our clients come in and they start all of our challenges. We always have a live component to their home play that they have to do. And they've got to go live and just talk about what they learnt that day. And then I always give them some kind of vulnerable question. I start off a little soft, like share your favorite quote. And then like I end with things like, what's your big dream goal? And if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. Like share that. And sort of slowly say, just get a little vulnerable. But similar to the awesome Ecamm community, it's like a safe space. They can practice
Exactly.
inside of our community. So, everybody's like lovely. There's no horrible kind of people out there they're gonna jump on and support you. And I think
Yeah.
that's one thing I really noticed about the Ecamm community is they follow each other around and support each other's
They
live
follow
streams.
outside. Yeah, they do.
Right.
It I think that was probably the most exciting and humbling and awesome part of the entire experience was that like it was pretty early days in my joining the Ecamm team. I hadn't done all that many live streams. I hadn't kind of been part of the team for all that long. And there is a group of at least 20, if not more, who even with no promotion whatsoever, they find when I'm doing interviews, they find when I'm, doing my own podcast or my own shows and content, and they're there in the chat, or they'll shoot me a note afterwards and say, they really enjoyed watching that, or it was really fun, or they learned something from it. So it is amazing. It is amazing who's watching. It is way more people than you think or than the vanity metrics show. And your presence and your willingness to push past the uncomfortable and respond positively to it really matters to people. It is those kind of moments of there's just something about me and my ability to laugh at myself or to like be publicly freaked out about it that seems to just resonate with people, and they tell me all the time, and it's a nice experience. So I think like, yeah, if you can find a safe place to practice, but also if you can find your people that you can either ask to come with you or like plant them in those moments to help build that confidence for you out in the scary spaces as well as in the safe spaces, I think
Yeah.
it goes a long way to help you get there. I'm just like you. I these days, even when I'm doing a virtual presentation, if I'm by
Yep.
myself and I have to plan it out, I still get shaky where I'm like, I don't like, there's no sidekick with me. It's not an interview. I love doing like interviews or co-hosting, or I'm with someone else and it's conversational. I still
Yep.
panic at the presentation
Yeah, the straight to
of
camera,
it
just
all.
you and the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
prefer live over straight
Yeah.
to camera because when I'm just straight to camera and it's not going anywhere, I mess up all the time and I'm like retake, retake,
Yeah.
retake. But
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
when you're live, you just talk, you
You
mess up,
can't.
you say
Yeah.
and it's so forgiving, and you
Yeah.
can fix it in post, right? Do a bit of edit later. We don't do a lot of edit on our podcast unless it's really badly fumbled. And then I just say the word ma, and she searches for her name and she's like, do I need to cut that little piece out of the video?
Perfect. Now
Yeah.
she's going to be like, wait.
Hang on, Ma. No, you don't need
Do I
to
cut
edit
that
this
out?
part, lovely. This is not an editing point. So, what do you think? I mean, you've worked with so many different people, from people who struggle with tech to just fear of going live. What do you find most people struggle with when it comes to video, and why isn't it really? Why do you see that as like the main hurdle when people are starting to think, okay, I'm going to use video because I know that that's a way to get me out in front of people. But what's their biggest struggle, do you think?
I think it's a mix of a few things. There is a intimidating feeling when you open up a software like Ecamm and you just immediately see yourself on camera and hear yourself, right? You're just sort of like, oh wait, what was I doing? Why am I here? Do I look like that? Do I sound like that? Like the voices in our head just start up immediately, even when we are otherwise a fairly confident person. It's the same fear and feelings and fight or flight feelings that you have when you stand in front of a room of, 20 plus people and you're like, wait, what was I supposed to say? Why am I here? It's all of those kinds of moments. And then it's mixed with the tech and the gear is interesting because the more that I talk to people, the more that I actually don't think it's almost on has two sides of the coin. On one side, all of the tech becomes a checklist, a distraction, a way to avoid just recording the content. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I will record the content once I have my studio built out, and I just need to save up for this better camera because the camera that I have right now doesn't make me look great. So I want to like, I'm going to move stuff around and I'm going to do it like, and I heard the doc said that we should have, you know, this particular kind of Shure microphone, and I don't have that one yet. So I sound bad. Like, it's just this, you know, we're talking to ourselves through, and it's a checklist. And until we have it all checked, we can't go live. We can't record the video. We can't do the thing. The other side of that coin is the fear of the unknown. Like, once I start doing this, my internet will go out, my camera will die, my, you know, my light will fall, my, all of these different things are going to stop me from doing it. But really, those are all just a barrier blocking you from actually getting the content done. And the simpler that you have your system, the simpler that you have your studio set up, the less opportunity for those challenges to arise exists, right? So like, I actually, over the last few years of here in my home space, I've removed a whole bunch of gear. I have the like most affordable webcam that literally just plugs with a USB directly into my computer. Even this microphone is a couple of generations old. It plugs directly by USB into my computer. I have like the cheapest, smallest lights that are positioned. I'm constantly moving them around to see where it is. But so there's less issue with cables going out. If like something happens, it's pretty easy and quick for me to be like, oh, well, that was my camera. I didn't have that plugged in correctly, or, you know, so I can solve the problem. Versus if I had a audio mixer and a stream deck and all of this gear, it would be much more work for me to map out exactly how those all connect into my computer, how they work together, where any of those, you know, points of failure might be. So it's, I think if you're willing to start simple, if you're willing to kind of push past the feeling of like, oh, I look like that, and get to the other side, you'll be fine. And then you can make those changes once you know a little bit more about exactly what you want, or, you know, what those next steps are. But many of us don't. Many of us start with, I know I should be on video, or I know I should be live streaming, but you don't really know exactly what that's going to look or sound like yet.
Yeah.
So what is great about Ecamm, and what opened up, I think, made it easier for me, at least from my background, was it's really similar to a keynote or a PowerPoint presentation. The way that it's set up, we have what are called scenes, but they function really similar to like a slide in a presentation. So if you're a planner like I am, or you're, you know, detail oriented, you can literally build it all out without even turning on the camera. You're like, that's going to be a camera. That's going to be a camera. That's an image. That's a background. And then you can drop the camera in once you're done. And at that point, ideally, the way that you've built it, designed it, the way you've named those scenes, those slides in your presentation are going to help all be visual indicators for what you're talking about. So then when you turn the camera on, you might still have that initial like, oh, that's what I look like. But you're like, oh, right, I'm here to talk about camera confidence. And my first scene is called intro. So I'm going to give my intro. My second scene is called why I was scared. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So you have those kind of visual reminders, like a presentation, like your presentation slides, to be able to guide you through the content, which then makes it easier. Because again, there's nothing kind of worse than the feeling of just staring at yourself down the lens of a camera. That's intimidating. It just is. It still is.
Yeah. I don't look at myself at all. Like when
like,
I'm filming, I don't look at myself. I don't even have I can see it out of the corner of my eye, so I know that the scene is there, but I'm looking in the camera, or I'm looking at you. And I remember when I first started going live, you know, when you use a phone and you look at yourself as well, and you can tell that the eyes don't align. And so to force myself to look at the little green dot, I also put a Post-it note, which really helped with my confidence, over my own face, so that I could actually focus on the green dot. I joke and say, if you're really someone who likes to look at yourself all the time because you're so beautiful, print a picture of yourself out, cut a little hole in the eye, and stick it over the green dot.
or your celebrity crush, put whoever you think is really cute over it with a little like sticky note that says like, you've got this.
Yeah.
whatever in front of you. Yeah, I think it's great. Lean into it. It's
Yeah, the first time
the
I
more
went
you can
live,
calm
I was
yourself, the better.
petrified. I was literally, I could feel the sweat
Yeah.
running down my back and into
Oh
my
yeah.
butt crack. I was
Mhm.
so scared, and I deleted my first ever video from everywhere. And I kind of wish I didn't do that so that I could look back now and see how awkward I was. So whenever we get someone come into our community and they're about, oh, it's my first time, I'm like, don't delete it, because I want to sit with you and watch it in 12 months' time.
Not only are mine still up, and I'm more than happy to send the link across, mine are still up, but
Yes.
I have had some like epic fails that I just love. Like there was one time where I was a guest on someone else's show and I like had prepped everything and I jumped in and I was coming in mid show. So the show was already live and he was like, talking away and he was like, okay, just a couple minutes. I was like, great. And I thought that my microphone was on like in a direct connection to him. So I was like, I'm just going to get some water. So I ran downstairs and I came back up and I was just on screen, empty chair. And he was like, we'll just be better. Like it was the most awkward possible moment. And then I had another time where I'd connected my DSLR camera, my like fancy expensive Nikon camera to my computer. So I got the best possible picture. I set up my entire space, made sure you couldn't see my bed in my bedroom. I went all out. And then halfway through the camera, which was connected to my computer, so I thought it's plugged in, completely died because the battery, it was not plugged into power. It was plugged into my
Oh,
computer. So the battery died. And when a camera dies and you're recording or streaming, it just freezes your face. I was
oh.
like some ridiculous look. And I just like I was like, shut it down. Shut it down. So I've had every conceivable moment, but every single time I now know, like now part of my checklist is, double checking, like, am I using a camera that needs a power source? Do I have it plugged in? Do I have a dummy battery? Have I charged everything? Like, it goes in your list, I'm never going to do that again. I don't want to look dumb like that again. So it just builds your checklist or people, no one, we're not, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saving lives. So if I can find a way to get past it, like it's a great learning experience. Every single one of those moments, but I've had every internet's died.
Yeah.
Ecamm is turned off. My kids have run in, sirens have gone by, the lights fall in. Like I've had every conceivable weird thing
Yeah.
happen. So
I think once you've been doing this for a while, it's just like you get so used to saying, oh, well, that's the joy of live, right? It is just the way it rolls. And especially in this, I feel like currently we're in a little bit of a trust drought because of AI. And
yes,
I'm like, ain't nobody AIing my face. You can turn me into a
exactly.
cartoon
Yeah.
character. You can turn me into like a fake looking superhero if you want to. But when you see what looks like a human, I promise, hand on heart, this face is me. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of other people that are quite big names starting to come back to the camera because of
Yes.
this trust drought. What do you think about this whole AI space we're in? And is it
100%.
human?
Yep.
Is it not? Yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's incredibly exciting and freeing for creators, particularly in the live streaming space, because people, as you said, have a lot of skepticism about whether or not something is real or fake and whether or not they are being lied to. And so this is the best possible time for people like us who have started off in a really scared of this space, because the more real that you can get and the more that you're willing to put yourself out there and just lean into all the things that make you special and unique and different and even your failures, the better, because people are really tired of robots talking to them in podcasts, of videos that look a little off and someone raises a hand, you're like, wait a second, that person's got 6 fingers, what's going on? Like
Yeah.
people want the opportunity to sit in a live chat and see their name appear on screen, hear their favorite creator answer their question directly and thank them for showing up by name. The opportunity to actually connect with people through video, particularly in the live space, has never been more popular, has never been more important at a time where many of us are navigating exactly how do we use these tools responsibly, and how do we, at what point should we be using AI and what point should we not? And I think people really don't want video to be fake. They don't,
Yeah.
they don't, they're skeptical of that. And so that, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of big creators, particularly in the YouTube space, who have made a really strong presence from these recorded, really beautifully polished videos are having a hard time because they largely have created those videos themselves. They've worked really hard with them, with teams to be able to put those together. And now they're having to, to deal with a lot of people who are like, is that real? Is that really
Yeah.
you? Did you really do that? So live streaming, I think it's going to be a really fun and kind of freeing time for us all to be a little less polished and buttoned up and okay with being in
Yeah.
that human space where it's a little messy, and that's fine. That's what makes us human and not
That's right.
not AI robots. So
Yeah, and it helps people to relate to us better. And yeah, like I'm constantly getting AI phone calls now, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
you know you're stuck in doom scrolling, and every third video I'm like, is that real? Is it fake?
yeah,
Some really cool things like, oh no, that has to be fake, right? So it's going to be very interesting how that whole space kind of lands once we get through this. Like when the internet first started and everything was going to go
yeah,
bad, for some people thought that way, but I'm a bit of a futurist. I love change. I love seeing things
yeah,
evolve and create, and I'm like, let's learn as much about AI as I can. I don't want to get left
yeah.
behind. I don't want to
Same.
be that
Yeah,
80-year-old that's like, I can't do the thing because I'm 80. I'm like, no. I'm with the young kids at 80, right? I want to stay up to date
yeah.
with all the things. But I just love how Ecamm makes everything look so professional. What would you say to somebody who's thinking about using Ecamm, but then, like you said, you open it? Now, I've got my Ecamm open. I'm going to tell you, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little windows around. Oh, hang on, I forgot my little confidence one down in the left-hand corner. So
Mm-hmm.
it's because I do all the things, sort of. Like, I don't make it too fancy because I also don't want to distract from you, the beautiful guest. But for somebody who's thinking, okay, I want Ecamm, they open it up and they're like, oh my Lord, it's a whole sound effects department on my screen. Um,
Yep.
what would
It's
what would you tell them when they jump into Ecamm so that they can use it without getting that overwhelm?
Yeah, I mean, deep breath. So don't just go in it without having a plan. So I would say the most helpful part about opening this, particularly this piece of software, is to understand what it is that you are trying to create. So go in to say, okay, I want to start a podcast, and I know generally before you open your computer, before you open the software, what does that look like? Is it like this where it's, a background and a couple of graphics were side by side? Is it just you talking? Do you want it to be really clean with the have kind of an idea of the story and the flow of what you're taking people through, so that, as I said, when you first open Ecamm, as you said, there's a million little windows. They are all representative of different features and different things you can do within the tool. You can close 95% of them until you're ready for them. And honestly, like the majority of the time, I keep most of those closed. I don't need them. Where I spend my time is in scenes, overlays, which are all the graphics and the cameras and all the things you're layering onto your scene to build your content. And that's about it. The sound window, to make sure that I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
muted. My guest
Yeah.
isn't muted. But that's about it. And I think you can generally stay there unless you need something else. Unless what you're creating is a Zoom webinar and you want to have our Ecamm for Zoom window open so that you can manipulate how things look in the Zoom space, or bring guests in from Zoom. So it's intentionally designed to be modular in that you can pull things in when you need them and just get them off your screen when you don't. Whereas if it was all in one window, it would be just a lot all in one
Yeah.
window coming at you. So in this way, at least you can kind of turn things on and turn things off as you need them. And the second thing I will say is that, as we've mentioned a number of times during this conversation, we do have an incredible community. Our community manager, Jill, does, I just can't even tell you how many, Zoom trainings, live streams, little video content. She gets one-on-one with people. So if you need help, we have a huge community of creators who are always willing to step up and lend a hand. And we have just an incredible internal team that's there to guide you through it. We do a weekly office hours where you can jump on, ask your questions, see what people are doing, be able to kind of test and play around. So it is big. Video production is big. It's a big, complicated thing. Ecamm makes it easy, but we're not going to deprive you of all of the high level features. They're there. You just don't need them right away. So just click them close. And when you're ready for them, add them in. And maybe you never are in what you're doing. And that's totally fine.
That's fine. Yeah. Look, yeah. So when the scenes are just like your PowerPoint presentation slides.
Yep.
Yeah. And then your overlays are like, just think about when you're designing in Canva and you go to see the layers, or if you're in Photoshop, you see the layers. And that just works exactly the same, where you've got a square, and then you've got a text block that lives on top of the square. But now you can type in the square.
So Anna, who you mentioned earlier, one of our creators, she's incredible. She likened it. I'm totally going to steal this idea from her. She likened it to scrapbooking. So if you can imagine, you're putting your construction paper behind, so it has a pretty background. You're cutting your pictures out. Those are your camera overlays. And then you're putting stickers on. You're adding your stickers, your glitter, you're writing the little cool moments below. All of that those are all overlays. Those are all like design aesthetics to build the content the way that you want. So it's fully customizable. There's no concept as of yet, anyway, in Ecamm of templates. You're not kind of locked into any one particular style. You're sitting at the table, you've got every conceivable craft item in front of you digitally, and you are sticking things down to get the look that you want. So think of it like stickers. You can move things in front or behind, as you were saying, in layers. It's all drag and drop. It's all adjustable, movable, resizable. So you need to have an idea of what you want to create before you jump in. That's the hardest part, figuring out, okay, what do I want this to look like?
I guess that's a little bit like when I was teaching graphic design for years, and you would ask the students to sketch first, and they're like, I don't want to. And they just want to jump straight into the software, but then they're just moving stuff around for hours. And I'm like, if you just sketched out your idea, you could get into the software and just do the thing without spending so many hours. So I love that you've got to go in with a plan. And that way it's also less overwhelming. Like if it's just yourself, it's like, okay, well, maybe I just want a lower third with my name on it and I'm done, like it can be that simple.
Exactly.
I do love the comments and reactions window though, because when you are live, you can see the comments coming in and you can bring it up on screen. Now, I did hit the go live button, Katie, but as we know, sometimes the human makes mistakes. It's gone straight to restream, but nowhere else. So we will stick this up.
So we're recording. Yeah, it's fine.
Still a recording. But look, Ash, my 2IC, she's like, rang me this morning and she's like, you don't have your makeup on. And I'm like, I know, I'm still setting my scenes. And then I didn't jump into restream and set all the places. Oh, oops.
Well, again, like that's kind of the benefit of this. Like tools like Ecamm and even Restream and all, like they exist to also have contingencies in them. So like Ecamm records at the same time, even if you're streaming. So the good news is that it's saving all of these files on your computer, and Restream is probably saving them in the Restream. So you have everything, even if there's, even if the internet goes out, even if you didn't send it out to a specific destination, it's fine. We're all going to do this. We're all going to do this so many times.
I know. Yeah. And in reflection, I'm like, Ecamm does all of this now. I don't even need to click the restream button anymore, right? It will go straight to YouTube and all the places without restream. It's been like, muscle memory. It's just there. I'll just click the button. We were running a little bit late. Oh well. But like you said, it goes straight to your computer. I think that's the best part that I find about Ecamm, because I used other software before Ecamm, like Zoom and Be Live, and that was still all internet based. So if the internet was bad, the quality was bad. The great thing about Ecamm is it's straight from computer to hard drive, like camera to hard drive.
Mhm.
Sure, I am a little restricted to the quality of the guest coming in, but everything else is awesome quality. Or sometimes we'll be on the live stream and people will say, oh, the quality's not great. I'm like, just watch the replay, because later, once it's all rendered properly, it always looks amazing. And so the
Yeah.
quality that we get out of Ecamm. And the other cool part is all the different camera shots that come in separately when the
Yeah.
file is saved. So
Mhm.
we can separate you out. My video editor can go and create some reels and stories and have like you in different
Yeah.
positions than this screen. So it saves all these separate files as well. So you're going to have your own little
Mhm.
talking file, and I'll have mine, and we'll have this scene one, and then we'll have all the voices. And those who really get into editing can go and do some really cool editing stuff as well with it. So yeah, I am the biggest Ecamm fan around, and you can, like, I always say to people, use Ecamm. They go, oh, I don't have a Mac. I'm like, get a Mac.
It's so
Just
cheap to
get a
buy a Mac these days.
for live
Just get a
streaming.
Mac, yeah.
Just get a
Yeah.
Mac. Just go get a Mac for your live streaming. That way also, you can just sit it up there. That's like, this is where I live stream. It's all ready to
Yeah.
go, right? You can walk on over to it, and then you can come back to your PC and work and hit the control and command key and go, oh, PC, oh, Mac. But
Switching
yeah.
is hard. I totally feel that.
Yeah, I can't even do PC anymore. When I
I
was
can't either. It's
you-
embarrassing.
yeah, when I was teaching, you'd jump from one room to another, and some would be PC, some would be Mac. So it would take a split second to be like, oh yeah, command and control, got to go the opposite way. Now I jump onto my daughter or husband's computer. I'm like, take me to the thing I want to go to. I don't know how to get there.
How do I the things?
How do I find this
do the
program? I
things?
don't know.
Yeah.
It's changed since the old days with the very old Windows where the little thing was down the bottom. It's all weird to me now.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about if these are more, I guess, personal questions now outside of like Ecamm itself. But if you could
Sure.
go back to the younger version of yourself who was hitting that go live button for the very first time, what would you tell yourself?
You're smarter and more capable than you're feeling right now. So I think like in the back of that version of Katie's mind, the fear, at least for me, and it's different for everyone, I'm sure, but my fear was you're the director of marketing. You don't like you're going to look like you're not capable, or that you haven't spent the time to research this, or you haven't spent the time to figure out how to do it. I didn't want to look stupid or incapable or bad, quote unquote, bad at my job. That was the fear. And really, like, in order to get better at my job, in order to get better at that role, I had to just do the thing. And there was no way to practice it other than to do the thing. So yeah, I think just say you have to push through at this point. It's not a matter of being dumb or looking stupid. It's a matter of this is what you have to do in order to learn how to do this.
Yeah, I love, like before when you were saying you've just got a simple camera plugged in, right? It's not even a fancy camera. Like I've got
It's like this big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So keeping it super simple. Now, you and I both have like a scene right behind us. We've
Mhm.
kind of taken a bit of love and attention to do things. I've got my emoji poo sitting back there, P1 and P2. They're busy getting shit done, right? I've got some of my favorite books in there. That little
Yeah.
jar there is my gratitude jar. So every day I write a gratitude on a Post-it
Aw.
note and stick it in there. I've got a little flower Lego that my daughter made me with my
I
birth
love
flower, a
those.
chrysanthemum. So I've got things behind here. When we lost our son Dylan, one of the biggest quotes that always stayed with me was, "Life is too short to sweat the small shit." Right? And then this little blackboard back here, my daughter made that, and I wrote the quote on it one day, and it's been there for probably 12, 15 years on this old little whiteboard. So I've got some things in the background that, for me personally, I know what they are. Tell me about your background that you've got.
I'm in the process of ripping apart this room, so who knows what will stay or what won't stay. But I I have lots of fun stuff in my background. I a little bit about me. I do all of my stuff for Ecamm. I'm also newer and loving the world of crochet. So I do a lot of crocheting. I make little fun crochet guys. As I move away, so I have my coffee
So
cup.
cute.
I have my little pineapple. I have they're all different. They're all on the
They're
shelves
so
back here. So
cute.
and then I do a 90s, 80s and 90s movie review podcast. So I have all my like 80s and 90s ridiculousness back here. I have My Little Ponies and all kinds of
I love it.
trolls and all kinds of silliness. So I just I reached a point where professionals started to the word professional and how people show up professionally was getting in my head, and I think was getting in everyone else's head in my world. And so I said to myself, okay, I have access to this incredible studio space literally down the street from me. Ecamm Studio, it's beautiful. And when I'm in that space, I look Ecamm professional. Like it's gorgeous. The quality is definitely very different from here. It's spectacular. But it was really intimidating for beginners. They would see me and they'd be like, well, okay, like you have all of the, all of the most expensive stuff. I can't start. I don't have the camera. I don't have a
Yeah.
teleprompter. I don't have all those things. So here at home, I started thinking to myself, okay, I just need to actually be real, because there's all these people out here who are so afraid and are putting up those like Zoom virtual backgrounds or blurring out their background because they're worried that people will see their space or see all of that. And it's such a small, we joke, it's like the cone of cleanliness. It's such a small space. Add your personality to it, add those moments in. It's what connects us. I mean, people ask me all the time about the mushroom background, like, which doesn't even have a crazy story. I just thought it would be fun and busy and crazy and kind of would be disarming for people, and it is. It's there are little pieces of me behind me, and it's constantly changing, and I'm messing around with all of it. But that's part of my professional persona and part of who I am. I want to tinker, I want to learn, I want to see what's happening. I want people to feel like they're coming into my home when they're hanging out with me, and they're not stepping into this like very, um detailed studio space that feels intimidating. I use that space often for like Ecamm trainings or certain things where it makes sense, but this feels to me like this is the space where we can just be real and we can be human and we can spend time together. So I love that you have that in your background.
Yeah.
I Pat Flynn, who I adore, who is
Yeah.
an incredible creator. He years back when I was chatting with him, he's got like little, like, he loves Back to the Future. He's got little Back to the Future things in his background, and his audience loves it. They are sending him stuff all the time because
And
they
he loves
know
his
that
Pokemons.
fact. Yeah, he loves his Pokemon, right? So like that, it's a connection point to people. So it was kind of hearing him say that where I was like, oh, I'm actually, again, I'm depriving my audience of getting to know me, and for no real reason other than I think, I'm like nervous that they're going to think it's messy or that they won't, it'll be distracting, or I think hiding it is more distracting than just allowing it to be what it is.
Yeah.
But
I think
that being said, I'm about to move everything all around. I have like a different bookcase I want to put behind. I want to do stuff, but
Well,
so far
you
it's been
said a
fun.
really good thing there, the cone of cleanliness. This is just a
Just this
little
big.
tiny, it's a corner, right? My
Yeah.
very first area was in my house, and we've got this tiny spare room, and I had a ring light and a phone that I would put into the ring light. I stuck
Yeah.
those little the word sparkle. I stuck that directly on the wall. There was
Yep.
maybe a foot between me and the camera, and I would have to suck in and squeeze into the corner, and that was my go live space. I just stand or sit there, and I had a packing box that I put a pretty cloth over, and I put a couple of like wizard goblets and dragons, because that was kind of it is still my thing. I got married in
Yeah.
like, I did a full medieval wedding. And so that was
Perfect.
my scene. It was like some stuck on sparkle letters on a wall and a box, but that's all they could see is this tiny little square, this
Yeah.
cone of cleanliness.
They don't know
But
what's
the
out
room
there.
itself was the spare room. It was a bloody mess. We were missing wardrobe doors, so I just hung some silver fabric in the
Yep.
wardrobe door to hide the ugly wardrobe. So that's how I started, just one clean area that was always set up that I could just kind of squeeze in, do my piece, and off I'd go. And
Yeah.
especially that year that I went live for 365 days, I still did handheld lives and out and about lives. But when I was
Yeah.
doing something professional or something I wanted to put into a course, I had my little cone of cleanliness to jump into, and it looks professional, but it has a little bit of me. And I heard Shalene Johnson once said, you know, if you look in her backgrounds from her early stuff, back when she first created Marketing Impact Academy, she used to have this
Mhm.
gold pineapple. And only her lifers and the people who really know her knew what the gold pineapple was. So we would look for it
Yeah.
when she changed her scenes. So it's also a little bit for your audience to go, oh, there's P1 and
Yeah.
P2, right? Like they know, and they're busy getting shit done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like, when did I don't know, when I feel like we all became adults and we convinced ourselves that professional means we need to be these like
Mm.
very buttoned up, polished versions of ourselves. And again, I think in a world where robots can do just about anything, let's just be fun. Let's at least be a little bit fun, whatever that
Right.
means for you. But let's add our personality or our fun, interesting things into our scenes. And like it's such a no one wants to sit for hours watching a presentation or a live stream or a podcast or whatever with just this like very buttoned up simple nothing in the background. Add a little bit of some like of something, even
Yeah.
if it's I have a really good friend who she literally for most of her videos she is I think she's standing in front of a plain wall and she has two lights pointed at the wall. One she puts pink, one she puts blue. They kind of cross. So it's literally just lights. It's a blank wall, but it's lights. And so, but you see that video and you're like, oh, there she is. That's like, you
Yeah.
immediately connect with the person. Something is simple. So it doesn't have to be crazy 80s or 90s things
Yeah.
or shit getting shit getting shit done, but it could still be like a pop of something that is you, a little piece of personality, an outfit you're wearing, something that's in the background. I think
Yeah.
yeah, not as we don't have to close ourselves off in order to be professional. We can be professional and still be fun
Yeah,
and still
show
be
your
ourselves.
personality, and yeah, and people resonate with that so much more when we show up authentically ourselves without
Yeah.
all the sort of stripped back professionalism. You
Yeah.
know, like we swear and things like that, and like I'm okay with that in our community. It works okay. Of course, you've got to pick your audience and things like that, but we show up. I always sort of say when you show up just a tiny bit higher than the people you're trying to attract, right? But
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
if you're somebody teaching people how to be fit, you don't turn up in a button-up suit, right? So you show up for your audience how they like it, and they know our business is all about fun, even though it's that geeky numbers and tech stuff that we help people with. Business should be fun. So we still have sparkle
Yeah.
parties and dress up competitions inside our community. All right. So Ma has put together our fast talk section. It's a 2-minute
Oh, I'm so bad at this. All right, I'm
power
gonna try my best.
fast talk, and you got 2 minutes, and the first couple should be pretty easy for you to get you
Okay.
warmed up. All right.
Okay.
But we have 2 minutes of fast talk. Are you ready, Katie?
I'm gonna do the best I can.
All right. Here we go. So fast talk. First question: live streaming or recording?
Live streaming.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
One take. Oh my God. One take or multiple takes? When it comes
One
to
take.
one take. YouTube or Facebook Live?
YouTube.
Scripted or spontaneity? Spontaneous. Yeah, that word.
Spontaneity, Katie.
I love it. DSLR or webcam?
Webcam.
Morning recording or night recording?
Night. Not a morning person.
Not a fan of mornings. Well, here am I up at 7 a.m. to interview you. So I was up in the 6s, even though Ash told me to get
Oh,
up in the 5s.
thank you.
Editing or going live.
Going live.
Overlays or just simple video.
Overlays. I like
Yeah,
overlays.
baby. Solo show or interview.
Interview. I don't like being by
100%.
myself.
Coffee or tea.
Oh, coffee by just a little bit. But I
Just a
love a
bit.
tea time.
You do?
Just a tiny bit.
You just
Yeah.
spill a bit of tea. We'll do that when we.
I
when we-
love that. I love the snacks. I love the tea time. I love a scone. I love that the art of sitting and having tea, but I like the flavor of coffee better.
Yeah, we are such coffee snobs here. My husband literally every week he goes and buys fresh
Perfect.
beans, and he can
He's my
tell by the
people.
sound the machine makes if the grind's right.
Yeah, he's like, wait.
Yeah. Short form or long form video?
Long form.
Planning or improvising?
Ooh, planning.
Audio quality or video quality?
Audio.
Audio. Yes. Awesome. There you go. You did all right. That was not too intense.
Usually you know what it is? Lately, I've been having a lot of people ask questions that are lists, and there's something in my brain that can't do that, where they're like, tell me 3 things that creators need to know. And my brain just is like, it does not.
It's melting.
It does not do a list. Yeah.
I'm melting. And Ma did her research. She hasn't given us questions.
Way to go, Ma.
Right. Ma, great job. The fast talk weren't just like, red or blue, right? At least they were a little bit specific to what we were talking about. She did really, really well. All right, Katie, if people want to find out more about the amazing Katie, where can they follow you and stalk you and see you crochet?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have so you can find me under all things Ecamm. So if you search ECAMM, I am in all the places and spaces in the world of Ecamm. Come hang out with me in the Ecamm community. You can email me, Katie, Katie at ecamm.com. I'm super fast with the email. If you want to follow along with my shows, I have 3. So I join Doc Rock, my partner in crime over at Ecamm. We do a video podcast about video podcasting on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern over on Ecamm's channel called The Flow. I geek out with my best friend about 80s and 90s movies Thursday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. That's called The VHS Club Podcast. So thevhsclubpod.com. And then I just started with my really good friend, Jeff, a show where he does carving and I do crocheting. And that is Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern over on YouTube. That's called The Maker's Table. So lots of spots to geek out with Katie, all live, all with a partner.
I love that. And you've got set times. This is what we tell our clients. At least one day a week that you have to show up and just do a live. Sometimes I just pull out an old book that I've been to a conference with, flick. Oh, I'll talk on that today, because the best way to learn is to teach. I might as well teach it and learn it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that you've got these set times that people can follow you and go and watch all of the things. I love that you're crocheting. My daughter just learned how to crochet and made me a scarf for Mother's Day.
Oh, I love
it. So that is so cute. Then she ended up doing a cross stitch for my husband, so it has coffee on it and it's a tea towel.
Perfect.
So she's getting all handsy and arty, and my 2IC Ash, she's brought over, those ones that you stab the fabric. I can't remember, and you make pictures. Yeah, that one. So I tried it the other day, and I'm just stabbing away, and I'm thinking this ain't working.
It sounds fun. I love the idea of stab it. Yeah, that sounds
you
fun.
Just stab it. I don't know what they call it. Hook. Maybe? I don't know. Anyway,
I'm stabbing away. I don't know what it's called.
I'm stabbing away and I'm like, this is not working. So where do I go? YouTube to find a video to figure out how to stab the fabric the correct way, because it wasn't working for me. So I'm going to come and follow you, because I don't even know how to crochet. So I'm going to go and check it out, because I've seen the scarf that my daughter's made, but I love all that. You've got a little coffee cup and all these cute little things. I'm like, okay, I'll be coming and following you, Katie, because I want to learn how to crochet.
Awesome.
Maybe I can make some little P1 and P2s in crochet format.
That would be so fun. All right, if I pull off figuring out how to do that, I will send one your way.
Awesome. I would love that. All right. Well, Katie, as always, it's always a great pleasure to have you on the show. And of course, we'll keep catching up as we always do. For those of you who are inside our community, we've got a little thing Katie and I were talking about yesterday. We are really excited. Katie will be joining the Sparkle Academy to be an expert. Well, it might be Katie and maybe some of the other Ecamm experts might come in, but for our OmniSpark Academy and studio clients, Ecamm will be coming in once a month to deliver some amazing content on live streaming, Ecamm itself. So keep your ear out. We're still locking in some dates and times, but I'm so excited. It's something that we've talked about for quite some time, and we all get busy, right? But now I've got Ash to keep me accountable, so she'll make sure we get you on the books.
Perfect. I love it. I'm there.
Yeah, we're so looking forward to having you join part of the expert. So yeah, there's a little sneak peek for all of our Academy and studio clients that Ecamm are joining our expert team. Dates coming soon. All right, Katie. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And as always, guys, make sure that you like and follow. And if you love Ecamm, then just hit us up. We can hook you up with maybe a little extra treat with your Ecamm subscription. And as always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Oh, I know Ma's going to ask me to ask this question, and I nearly forgot. She'll get very angry at me. You have to complete this sentence by starting with the sentence. Say, I am Katie Fawkes, and I sparkle because... Go on, you do it, because I know she wants to trim all these together one day and make a video out of it.
Oh, see, I was doing so well with questions. Why do
now your brain's going.
Oh no, my sparkle is gone. What's a good one? All right. So I'm Katie Fawkes, and I sparkle because I live stream.
Yeah, baby, she does. And you bring your sparkle and your crochet and your 80s vibe. I love it. I'm an 80s baby as well. So, yay, I grew up in the 80s. That was, the year of big hair and rah-rah skirts and jelly shoes.
Oh, take me back.
Awesome, guys. As always, have a good one. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. And tune on in. In 45 minutes, we'll be going live with our next podcast, Batching. Bye for
now. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.